How's it going, guys? This is Outlaw Bebop, and I'm here to review Spider-Man on PS4. Let's get right into it.
Uh-oh. You should have worn your seatbelt.
Now, the plot of this game can be seen as a bit generic. It's basically Spider-Man saving the world, or in this case, saving the city from an assembly of supervillains, teaming up to defeat him and finally get rid of him, of course. But here, like I said, it's a little bit different with the character variations and the liberties that they took with certain characters, as opposed to just making them straight up evil, adding a little bit of more context to the situation, and the relationships that each of the villains have with Spider-Man raise the stakes way more, and the fate of the characters in this game actually matters. It's not something where it's like they play it safe and they base it off of a movie or a certain comic book. Characters will die in this game and you will be utterly shocked by it. Now, when it comes to the story in this game, it is really good. To be honest, one of my favorite aspects about this game's story is the pacing. There's never a slow moment, there's never a dull moment, and anytime there is a sliver of that, it is to develop the characters and the situation that you're currently in on the island of Manhattan. Everything else in this game is done so well when it comes to the story. The characters are developed and you get a complete understanding of what type of iteration of the character you're getting introduced as opposed to the different variations depending on the universe, and it's just well done. It was done so well that I was surprised at how emotional the story gets at times, especially during the third act, that I was completely surprised by it.
Spider-Man is a one-man show who cares about one thing: Spider-Man. And you almost paid for that with your life.
Now, when it comes to gameplay, this is definitely the best Spider-Man video game I've ever played. Whether it comes down to the web swinging and traversing the city of Manhattan as a whole, it is the most fun I've had playing Spider-Man in a video game. Like, legitimately, I used to play video games all the time with Spider-Man in it, and swinging around was always a fun, especially when it was free roam and you swing around the entire island of Manhattan. But here, this is the definitive Spider-Man video game when it comes to swinging around. It is way too much fun. Now, when it comes to combat in this game, this is probably the best third-person action video game that I've played. It takes the same template that was built upon by the Batman Arkham games and improves it tenfold with the fact that Spider-Man as a character is much lighter and much swifter than Batman, so it only makes sense that his attacks and the animations that take place while you're fighting are way smoother, way more swift, energetic, and way more frantic. Now, the combat and performing well in it and completing certain side missions and such, you will get upgrade tokens and skill points that you use to upgrade Spider-Man so you can improve his health, his fighting abilities, his web attack abilities, his defense against enemies, what he can do against enemies with pistols, rocket launchers, melee weapons, shields, etc. One of my favorite things that comes with leveling up Spider-Man as a character and getting him stronger is that you unlock certain things such as costumes, and the costumes are actually pretty cool. They're done in a way to which you don't necessarily get a costume and you look cool. They actually change the way the game is played and how you fight or how you interact with enemies in stealth situations and such. So, like I said, pretty cool.
Heads up! Hey, where are you going?
One of my favorite aspects of this game is how broad and expansive the universe is in it, and how it makes multiple references to other comic book characters. Of course, you have the giant monolith in the middle of the city that is the Avengers Tower, but there's also a bunch of things that you probably wouldn't see on your first go around the city, such as the Sanctum Sanctorum, which is the building that Doctor Strange lives in, Alias Investigations, which is the building / office that Jessica Jones works out of, Nelson and Murdoch's law firm that's actually closed down. I'm guessing they're doing it right after their breakup as friends, I guess. And as well as the Rand Enterprises building, among other various Easter eggs, which as a comic book nerd, especially a Marvel fan and a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan, it is something that I really appreciated. When it came to certain negative aspects of this game, I would say one thing I didn't really appreciate was the lack of a replay missions option. Now, there's a whole section in the start menu kind of dedicated to missions, and it made me believe that once you beat the story, you would be able to play through the story again if you wanted to, just specific missions even. There's no option for that. Even side missions, once you beat them, the only ones you could replay are the challenges and the hideouts, and that's only because those are just chances for you to get a higher score, so you could get more tokens to upgrade the Spider-Man character. One of the side missions, to me, the challenge side missions, were way too difficult to get the perfect score. There were times where I would do everything perfectly that I saw in guides and everything, get it super fast, and I would score like 5 points less than what was required of the gold, which was pretty annoying, to the point where I still can't even unlock 2 more suits and 1 more gadget upgrade, which is kind of annoying. And finally, I didn't really care for the Miles Morales section of the game. Like I said, I thought certain parts where you play as him were kind of annoying, because I felt the Mary Jane Watson aspect was kind of cool, because you actually eventually gain the ability to fight certain enemies with a weapon and still sneak around. Here with Miles Morales, it was still just sneaking around and figuring out, like, hey, I could hack this thing over there or this thing over here and choose which way I wanted to go. It wasn't really interesting to me, and nor did it provide any real tension. I just sprinted through a lot of that. So in conclusion, I had a lot of fun playing this game, and I definitely recommend to get this game if you have a PS4. If you don't have a PS4, I don't know if I would really recommend buying this game unless you were planning to get a PS4. Or if you really love Spider-Man games, which was the reason why I got it. I love Spider-Man games, and this was promised to be the best when it came to the mechanics, the graphics, and the story, and I was completely satisfied in all aspects. Plus the Easter eggs and the little extra things on the side really bumped it up a notch. So I definitely recommend this game. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys later.